I never applied to any job on Fiverr because just make sure your videos reflect your best YouTube editing style. Working for barely any money sounds very tough at first. This skill took me years to develop. You've got your computer, you've attained some sort of editing software like Premiere or Final Cut, or maybe even a free software. Now here's what you need to know in order to get a job as a YouTube video editor. Develop your skills. You're probably watching this because you have a talent for editing. You enjoy storytelling and you love compiling a bunch of different elements to create a piece such as a YouTube video. Now there are some extra skills that are worth developing in order to make yourself a more hireable editor. Pace and timing, knowing what is important info and what is not. Knowing how to make a moment have the right comedic timing, and knowing when and where to cut pauses to move the viewer through the video faster. Whoever you end up editing for is always going to be trying to keep their viewers as engaged as possible. So this is a really important skill for you to have. Visually creative. You should confidently be able to visualize a video, the graphics, the music, before they're actually in the video. Why I say this is because a lot of time can go into selecting the right music, or deciding on how graphics should look, or overall just how the video should be pieced together. It's a really important skill if you can already know what you're looking for, or what you'd like to create before you create it. FYI, this skill took me years to develop after working with multiple clients on multiple different kinds of projects, so take some time. And speed. Learning editing is one thing, and one could argue it's a relatively easy thing. What's not necessarily an easy thing is being a very fast editor. Being a fast video editor means that you really are putting in the effort to learn the shortcuts and the editing techniques, and you're really working towards perfecting the craft of video editing. So I would recommend constantly looking into shortcut tips and technique tutorials to keep learning as you go along in your career. Start your own channel. What better way to show other YouTubers what your editing style is like than to just share your own channel with them? It could be educational, it could be a vlog, it could be a gaming channel, do whatever you want. Just make sure your videos reflect your best YouTube editing style, so the client can visualize how your skills would help their own channel. Try out different hiring platforms. There's Upwork, Fiverr, Indeed. There's so many other platforms that you can start applying to jobs at. And I would recommend testing out each one by applying to little jobs on all the platforms you're interested in. After a while, you might find 1 to 2 platforms that are really working for you. For example, I never applied to any job on Fiverr because it just looked a little competitive and lowballing to me. It just didn't vibe with me right, so I went to Upwork. And I've been using Upwork for years now. And while I'm happy with my reputation on there, I sometimes wish that I would have tried to do some projects on Fiverr so that I wouldn't be starting from zero if I ever decided to apply to a job on Fiverr. Also, if you're looking for more tips on where to find video editing jobs, I talk about it a lot more in depth in this video, so be sure to check it out after this one. Take a pay cut. When you're first starting out, it's difficult to know what to charge until you start getting paid more often and with different clients, and you have more to compare to. So develop a reputation for yourself and get some reviews by doing little jobs really well. Then clients will trust you for doing longer term work, and they will be willing to pay a little bit more for you, and you can slowly raise your rate from there. Working for barely any money sounds very tough at first, but what you have to understand is that the video editing world is extremely competitive, and it's worldwide. Because you can do a video editing job from almost anywhere in the world, you're essentially competing with the whole world when you're applying to said job online. So while you don't want to royally screw yourself out of making any money at all, it's important to be very self-aware of not only the job difficulty, but also your skill set and reputation, or lack thereof, and charge accordingly. Since you made it this far, why don't you just go ahead and hit the like button below and leave a comment if any of these tips resonated with you. If you have any YouTube editor tips that have helped you in the past, please comment down below and I would love to discuss. I'm Colleen and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.